I feel good today. What's up, everybody? It's Monday, September 18th, 2022. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are presented all of our odds by our partners, the king of all sportsbooks, BetMGM. So glad to have them on board. We are powered by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it is not even close. Now, we had a really good day at the brand. Primetime, not as good as what we would have liked. I should have given out the Dolphins. I loved the Dolphins last night. We talked about it on the show. But as far as Sunday is concerned, that is what we had. See, Najad, another solid day. Don't forget about our Tuesday show. We only have so much time. Maestro had the Chiefs. Then Heartbreak Hotel, 49ers minus the 8 to kick a field goal with no time left to lose by 7, the Rams did. Ouch. And then also RJ had the Bills. Nice hit from the preview show and a nice little teaser. You'll want to tune into that every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Me, Larry Hartstein, and RJ White. But for today, my man, the Maestro, big-time tech issues. We still have 2 plays from him, but I do have 2 guys that their Wi-Fi is actually working on a Monday. Let's bring in the stars of the show. You know them. You love them. And on a night when there are 2 Monday night football games, I got 2 of my absolute very best. My 5-tool player. AB, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Proppy. Good morning, everybody in the Early Edge crew. Yeah, what a game we were kind of treated to last night. A little blowout in the first, a little comeback in the second. I was talking with Phil on text, and he goes, classic New England primetime game.
Bring it in the backdoor. Well, it wasn't really a backdoor cover. If you bet the second half, it was a backdoor cover. I had the Dolphins on the money line, so I was very happy. Now, speaking of happy, this man releases picks all week long if you're a SportsLine member, but he has a brand new article, which is why this morning he gets the 15 seconds. Proppy, the floor is yours.
Coach, yeah, fired up. Didn't have the best week as far as single bets are concerned, but we did hit an excellent long shot, 30-1 odds. Bijan Robinson to lead the NFL in rushing yards on Sunday. Obviously, love to hit a bet of that magnitude. Bijan looks the part. That's in spite of being in a split backfield with Tyler Algier, very impressive rookie from the year prior. But I'm all sorts of fired up, Coach. I love that we've got 2 Monday night games, and I think we have 2 Monday night games for the next consecutive 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you are correct, which means we have a very special start time tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We will break down both games, the Saints and the Panthers, and the Browns and the Steelers, which means 2 opportunities to walk to the pay window. So let's discuss it a little bit before we get to our board for the day. And we've got baseball, we've got soccer, we've got a little bit of everything for you. But probably let's start with you. Saints are laying 3, the total 39.5 according to BetMGM. 7:15 p.m. Eastern is the start here. What's your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I know from a betting perspective, as far as sides and totals are concerned, you've got a pretty live home dog here. Historically, those are obviously good spots, but I just think the Saints team is a lot more talented than the Panthers. Bryce Young just really does not have the weapons, in my opinion, to consistently move the football up and down the field. Offensive line looks like it's going to struggle to protect him as well. Just not a lot of speed or experience, really, at receiver. So, yeah, I just think he's lacking the weapons there. As far as Carr is concerned, he has a trio of very good wide receivers. We obviously know Chris Olave, one of my favorite players, breakout candidate, had the fantastic rookie year. Michael Thomas, maybe not the Michael Thomas of old, but still looked pretty solid in week 1. And then a wide receiver that I don't think is getting nearly enough attention, who I'm going to talk a lot about today, is Rasheed Shaheed. Very impressive second-year player. Came on strong over the second half of the season last year. Picked up right where he left off in week 1. Had over 100 yards and a touchdown against the Titans. But I think this Saints team, from top to bottom, is a very balanced roster. I love the addition to Carr. I think they can run the ball as well. They're going to be balanced. But yeah, I think this Saints team is just too good.
You know what? I tend to, as I was listening to you, I was kind of going back and forth. But when you give me a good quarterback over a rookie quarterback like Bryce Young, that's what I'm going to take. I'm going to take the wisdom. I'm going to take the ability of Carr to rally his team together. Yes, Property.
One last point I wanted to make. I know I had a long preamble there, but if we rank the units, I honestly think that the Saints have the top 2 units if we look at all 4 in the game as well, as far as the offense, defense, and then we obviously rank the Panthers' offense and defense. I was impressed by the Saints' defense in week 1, too. I know it came against the Titans, but I'm not sure that this Panthers' offense is much better, so I really think the Saints have a lot more talent than this Panthers team.
The same Titans team that just beat the Chargers yesterday, they're not a bad team. They're not
fair enough.
Not at all. AB, let me come to you. That was unbelievable analysis from Proppy. Where do you fall in this first game?
Yeah, look, Coach, I think what you just said took the words right out of my mouth. Look, not only did the Saints defense hold the Titans team that just put 27 on the Chargers and won, right? Look at Derek Carr's numbers against say what you will about the Titans offense. The Titans defense is legit. Now, they'll give up yards, especially to tight ends, et cetera, but for the most part, you've got a defensive line that's active. You've got a secondary, well, at least in the safety area with Kevin Byard, who is a ball hawk. Like, Derek Carr not only put up good numbers, he put up efficient numbers, right? So I agree with Proppy. I mean, again, this is going to be week 2. Do the Saints regress any? Do the Panthers get a little bit better? The problem is the offensive line. The problem is the skill position players. I just don't think that they have enough. They could do, some smokescreen stuff. Like, I look for the Panthers to start this game as wild and as different as possible. And then the Saints go, oh, okay, we see what you're doing. And then, because that's your only shot. You're not going to go 60 minutes toe to toe. So they're going to try everything that they can in the first quarter. So if you're looking for anything Panthers like that, yeah, go for it.
I'll tell you what, it may not be the best betting advice, but I'll tell you what I'm personally going to do is lay the minus 165. We have seen yesterday, Green Bay, there's a lot of teams where that 2.5 or 3.5 or whatever, that matters. I want to take that out of the equation. I'm going to lay the minus 165. By the way, AB, and I know Proppy's going to be shaking his head when I say this, you use the word problem. We've got a problem in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Have we noticed who is back teasing his return tomorrow? What does Proppy always say?
2024 buckets?
2024 buckets.
My guy.
And I quote, I'm going to be a problem when I return tomorrow. Capper Taylor said the only problem you're going to be is for Coach. All right, so we already get it started. But Buckets has made it to Japan. I don't know if he's back, feet on the ground, but in honor of Buckets, I will have a soccer play on the show in just a couple of minutes. But game number 2. And Proppy, I already have somebody in the chat saying I like the Chubb under yards in this game. Don't even know what the number is. But the Browns are laying 2 after blowing out the Bengals 24-3 a week ago at Pittsburgh. The total is 38. This game's going to start at 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. Start us off.
Fascinating matchup here, Coach. Obviously, division rivals, 2 teams that know each other well, 2 teams that have very different experiences in week 1. One thing I think we can all attest to is it's easy to overreact after week 1. We saw the Steelers get absolutely throttled. We saw the Browns play a great game of football and just made work of a Cincinnati Bengals team. But that doesn't matter now that we're in week 2. I think the Steelers team has a lot of pride. We know they're well coached. I was very impressed with the Browns. I still don't see Deshaun Watson, though, as that same quarterback who was an MVP candidate in the Texans. He played okay, but I still think he left a lot on the table. There's a lot of room for him to improve. I know this Steelers team struggled mightily against a very good San Francisco team, but they typically do not get blown out. This is a team that's hard to blow out. I think they're going to be very up for this game. I think it's a very close game. If I had to give a slight lean, it would be to the Steelers. I just think a Mike Tomlin coach team coming off of an embarrassing week 1 performance is going to be highly, highly motivated in this game. So yeah, leaning towards the Steelers, although I do think, obviously, the Browns have a very talented roster, top to bottom, and it really kind of hinges on what Watson we see. If we see a Watson who's closer to that MVP candidate, then I like the Browns, but we're just not seeing that guy yet.
Yeah. We'll see what happens tonight. A lot of good analysis there as well. Every time Proppy talks this morning, I keep waffling on my pick because he's making so many good points. Now, I will say this, AB, that Larry Hartstein, the maestro, one of his official picks today is Kenny Pickett under 204.5 on his passing yardage, which I don't want to put words in his mouth, but leads me to believe that he believes that the Steelers offense won't do a lot tonight. The chat's saying, how about the under 38? What say you?
Yeah, look, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'll tell you what, I'll put words in Maestro's mouth for him. All right. No, I'm kidding. But I'll say this. I agree with him. I think that the Browns have an opportunity to blow the Steelers out. Seriously. I don't trust this Steelers team at all. I mean, Mike Tomlin, I've said it on this show for 3 years now, that he's one of, if not my favorite coach in football. I love everything about him. But this team is not that good. They're not that balanced. They can't really throw. Again, I understand they went against the 49ers, but I'm not basing it all off of that. I don't trust Kenny Pickett. I don't trust all of this put together. And you know what the Browns did this offseason? They went and bought themselves a damn defense, and it's legit. And they've got a defensive coordinator that's legit. And they have a running game that's legit. And they have a quarterback that when he's on is legit. And if the Browns show up and are balanced, there's no way that the Steelers play in this game. Like the Browns are better at almost every positional group against the Steelers, almost every single one of them. If the Browns aren't making mistakes, killing themselves, good luck, Pittsburgh, because Cleveland could blow you out, buddy. Like they're better than people give them credit for.
We talked about them on the mega preview. We talked about the Browns at length, and I think part of the reason that fans don't want to buy into the Browns is because of the negative storylines the last couple of years. But the league moves on and people move on, and the Browns have clearly moved on. Yes, AB, go.
Yeah, so, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I agreeing with the same line of thought that you're thinking. Also, remember this. You have a Browns head coach who's fighting for his career. And tonight against this team matters. It matters. It absolutely matters. And every player on that roster in that locker room knows it. He knows it. The coaching staff knows it. I'm just saying, man, like I'm not betting the spread, but look out.
Proppy, go.
I agree with everything AB said. I think the Browns have a better roster top to bottom from a talent standpoint. If they're on, they are the superior team, no doubt. I just want to caution that record talent sometimes doesn't tend to matter in the AFC North. When these two teams hook up or when division rivals in this division hook up, they are almost always knock them out, drag them out, just very hard fought. AFC North battles, lots of defense, low scoring, almost always come down to a field goal. Very hard. These teams just never blow each other out.
I love when you get fired up. I love when you get fired up on a Monday Night Football game. By the way, Elijah Moore, 41.5 at -120. Proppy, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm leaning over on there. Want to wait for official confirmation on Amari Cooper, although I think it's very, very unlikely Amari suits up. Elijah Moore looked like he might be the wide receiver one, even with Amari on the field. I like the way they use him. They're very creative getting him the football, design plays. I think he's going to receive 8 to 10 targets tonight. Like him to go over that for sure. Even if Amari suits up, I would lean over.
All right. Very, very good. All you got to do is ask. Sometimes you get that answer live on the show. Hill 2 Top says, come on, coach. Buckets, Proppy? I'm sure they have a spot on their presidential ticket. Just ask. That is something I never want to be a part of, ever, ever. But what I do want to be a part of, and I will be a part of later today, just like my crew members every single day, is CBS Sports HQ.
Well, you need your sports news anywhere?
We've got breaking news to bring you.
Then get your sports anytime you want them. Big trade news overnight to discuss.
Because we know you need sports all the time.
A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
A legend adds to their legacy.
We're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
CBS Sports HQ, anywhere, anytime, all the time.
All right, anywhere, all the time. I love it. I'll be on CBS Sports HQ today. We're talking a little bit NFL futures with the MVP race after 2 weeks and a little Monday Night Football, 12:30 Eastern. If we have any props, you know I'm calling my boy Proppy because it's a team effort from the Early Edge crew on CBS Sports HQ. All right, let's get into our board for the day. And I'm going to give out Larry's 1st. He's on the Guardians. It's the only day baseball game today. If you're a SportsLine member, you've had this pick since I think last night. Full write-up over there at SportsLine. Go and check it out. But minus 118, he's got the Guardians. And the other play I already gave out, Kenny Pickett under 204.5 for the Steelers tonight at home against the Browns. Proppy, floor is yours, big boy. What do you got?
All right, so yeah, we're going to back Rasheed Shaheed, wide receiver of the New Orleans Saints, second-year player. Last season came on very strong over the second half of the season in New Orleans. Very impressive, just has tremendous speed, ability to get open and deep down the field. Did not have a lot of targets, but turned in very, very consistent production. He was a major breakout candidate, in my opinion, heading into this new season. Then we see the big upgrade with Derek Carr at quarterback. What happens the first week? Shaheed ends up with 100 yards and a touchdown. I just love this guy's speed. I love his ability to get open. I think he's a very overlooked, underrated player. I think the books are behind on how good he is. I think he's ultimately going to end up being the second most targeted player in this Saints offense, even ahead of Michael Thomas. His efficiency metrics are very good. It's only 36.5 yards. He can literally get there in one catch. He has that sort of big play ability. He's going to be running a lot of routes down the field. I definitely think even in a game where he could be bottled up, it just takes one play with him. So I love Rasheed Shaheed both this week and just moving forward.
Just this week and moving forward.
Just all year. Auto tail. Let's go.
Not necessarily, but I just think he's a player to definitely keep an eye out on. And at 36.5 yards, I think he will end up being a massive value by the end of the season. I see him being in the 50s more than likely. So this will be a number that we will be clamoring for.
By the way, in the chat, I don't know if this is, it sounds a little crazy, but again, that's why I'm coming to you, Proppy. Bryce Young, 25 rushing yards, apparently is plus 400. Is that worth a sprinkle? I find that a little hard to believe, but let's take the numbers out of it. Do you think Bryce Young is going to use his legs in tonight's game? Let's ask it that way.
You really might not have a choice considering the Saints defense, how good they looked in week one. I think a lot of times quarterbacks tend to run when sort of their first and second read are covered, which I think will happen quite a bit. So I don't mind that. And if it's at plus 400, certainly not worth a sprinkle in my opinion.
AB.
Coach, look, I can agree. Let me back up what Props is saying. I agree with him because here's the thing. Bryce Young, and if you haven't really watched him, you've only had obviously one game in the NFL. I've watched every snap this dude took at Alabama. He's not really a running quarterback. I'm not saying he can't run. He's an athletic dude. But what I mean by it is that don't let his small stature fool you. This dude is tough as a $2 steak. He will stand in the pocket. He will step right up and deliver the ball. And I've seen this dude take shots and get blasted and get right back up. Like, he is not a guy that looks to run a ton. He plays the quarterback position as it's supposed to be played. So he could be chased for it, but I wouldn't make that a weekly thing. He's not going to run.
All right. Great analysis. My guys watch college too. We watch everything so we can use it when we need it, like moments like this. All right, AB, it's coming down to me and you. And I feel really good about my two. Do you want to go first? Or would you like me to go first?
No, Coach. I want to go first. I want you to have the floor because I feel like this is the Coach Monday type of day. Look, you're used to Monday nights, all right? You've been the man on Monday nights for a long time, so I'll step out of your way and let you handle it. Look, 2 plays from me, and real simple. We're going to break them down tonight. But first one, like I just said, Bryce Young, he's throwing a pick, buddy. My man. Yeah, we're going to get the no-fly zone open early today because, again, he does stand in the pocket. He is tough. He does what his coaches tell and ask him to do. Take the shot, put the ball in the air, throw it. I love Bryce Young. His team around him is not very good, but I love this kid. Unfortunately, he's throwing a pick tonight. And number 2, the Maestro was talking about your boy. Yeah, sorry, Kitty. He's throwing a pick. I know he's not going to throw many yards, but he might throw some yardage to the other side here. I think that the Steelers are probably going to be playing from behind a little bit in this game, and that's going to force him to put the ball in the air a little bit more. Now, the thing with Kenny Pickett is he doesn't really throw it beyond 7 yards, right? And I don't say it negatively. It's just how the Steelers operate. That being said, when you get down that yards, like those yardage, like it keeps going up as you get down in the game. So I think both these guys, they're throwing picks. And also, Coach, real quick, there's this team that people keep telling me about. I've never seen them personally. They're called like the Atlanta Braves or something. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, their batter props aren't out yet, but they're going up against Zach Wheeler today. And I believe the term is called Mash City Monday. So on Twitter, I'll get all the Braves picks out there. We just don't have the options yet.
I'm so glad you just said that. I'll get back to you in a second. Proppy, go.
Yeah, real quick. I just took a quick peek, and that is in fact
I didn't know where that was going.
that is in fact an accurate line for Bryce Young. 25 rushing yards is plus 400. So I actually think that's a solid sprinkle.
Solid sprinkle. That should be something brand new, a new branded thing. Solid sprinkle.
Yeah,
we really like it. Solid sprinkle, kind of a long shot. Thank you, Proppy, for looking that up. I appreciate you. Now, we had Ben Horner on a few weeks ago. He's been putting some really good picks into the chat, and I respect AB's opinion about as much as anybody's that I work with or know. But today, you're all wrong. Here's what Ben says. Also, Riley, Olsen, Jr., great angles for the Braves-Phillies game once they finally get posted. Olsen has 6 home runs against Philly this year. Here's the problem, AB. Here's the problem, Ben Horner. The Braves do not care anymore. Over the weekend, they sleptwalk. I cashed the Miami Marlins yesterday easy because the Braves already clinched. They don't care anymore. You know who does care? The Philadelphia Phillies. They're number 1 in the wild card race right now. They have no room to spare. I'm taking the Phillies on the money line to shut the Braves down today. And I'll take any and all showdowns. Just let me know. And then in honor of Buckets Proppy 2024, everybody in the chat's talking about the return of Buckets from Japan tomorrow. Well, today, I'm going Nottingham Forest. And here's the deal. I'm going to go on the money line plus 122. In soccer betting, it's a little bit different. And next level cappers like myself, we get it. Now, if you want to do draw no bet, where a draw like 0-0-1-1 that pushes, that's like minus 160. I didn't want to pay that juice. So if it's a tie this way, we lose. But Nottingham Forest has been a pleasant surprise. They've been scoring. They're 2-0-2. Burnley hasn't even won a game yet in league play. So let's take Nottingham Forest, courtesy of Buckets, English Premier League, plus 122. I can't believe he's coming back tomorrow. Unleashing Proppy and Buckets on all of us.
It's going to be out of control. And, Coach, look, the beginning of that CBS Sports HQ video, there's the soccer player. I think his name's Erland or Airland or something. I don't know his name. He looks just like Buckets if he had a ponytail.
It's Erland Holland.
That's it. Yeah. He looks just like him.
He does. In a weird way. He really, really does. So maybe we'll use his picture instead of Buckets for all the stuff going forward. Instead of Buckets standing in front of whatever he's standing in front of in Japan. No, we can't wait to have my man back because we miss Buckets. There's no doubt about that. So grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here's the recap, courtesy of my man AB on the 1s and the 2s. The Maestro, he's on Kenny Pickett under 204.5 passing yards, minus 115. Then the Guardians. Again, this is a day baseball game today. Money line, minus 118. Then Proppy. He'll have a couple more tonight on primetime early edge at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Rasheed Shaheed, over 36.5 receiving yards, minus 115. Then if you're going to cash with the coach, you're going to do it with these two plays. Phillies money line, minus 104. Nottingham Forest money line, plus 122. I'll have more picks on HQ at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Then my man AB, the no-fly zone is open tonight. Can't wait to hear Phil McKagan's take on this on primetime early edge. Bryce Young will throw at least one pick. Kenny Pickett against the Browns defense will throw at least one interception. Turn on your notifications. We have a lot of shows that are happening every single day, and we don't want to miss or you to miss any of the content. Also, as you know, when you watch live, we answer a lot of questions, and you can only get that when you watch live. We encourage you to do that too. So with all that being said, this is the end of our week. Let's end it in a positive fashion. Let's take care of one another, and let's pay it forward. So with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. That's to tell you that new BetMGM customers can sign up today and get $200 in bonus bets. Just place your first wager of at least $10, and you'll receive $200 instantly in bonus bets, regardless of your wager's outcome, with the bonus code EDGE200. Once again, that's EDGE200. I got you there, didn't I? Now, there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Monday tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lobo, AB, Proppy, Snake, always doing work behind the scenes. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, special start time, so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.